High bar back squats today, no pause. Again, just like every previous day, set a new PR. 25 pounds added to this lift. Still unimpressive by the standards of people who actually lift weights, but I'm pretty daggone pleased with the progress that I'm making. One thing that I found with these, a lot of the general common practice with this would be to warm up for a few sets and then jump up to the heavier weights when you're doing some singles. But I found that I really benefit from just making very small incremental increases in the weight and then doing a single. I tried to skip ahead a few. I think I just jumped up 40 pounds at one point early on in the workout, and it just felt so heavy on my shoulders, and I really struggled. So I did that, and then I didn't like how it felt, so I jumped back down and just worked my way up in 10-pound increments, just doing singles, and the weight went much, much, much better the second time. So that was 295. This is 300 here. This one felt pretty good. The last one felt pretty good. Let's see what this looks like. I feel like it went up pretty quick. Yeah, a little bit of a sticking point there. Once I get past that 90 degrees, I can pop up pretty quick. This is the most grinding squat rep that I've ever done in my entire life. I can't believe how long this rep is. And then, once I get past that sticking point, it's very easy to pop right up. So that felt good. I knew that was the end very clearly. And so while I'm building up my squat, I'd also really like to see some improvements on the bench. I'm just doing a little bit of supplementary bench work, but following a similar process to what's going on with the squat. Just doing a heavy set with maybe some accessory work. But I've got, as I've mentioned a couple times if you've watched any of the other videos, I've got some nerve damage on my right side. My right tricep, right pec, and right lat were almost completely non-functioning for the better part of 2 years. About 5 years ago, from 30 to 32, I was not able to do very much at all. I was working out by pushing myself off the wall. So this weight, super heavy. I was going for 3 reps of these presses from the pins here, or from the safeties. I got 2. Like my right arm just can barely move that. So the progress, I am making progress with the bench, but it's much, much slower. I'm certainly not doing any 20-pound increases, but I have some microplates that I'll bring in so I can make sure that I have an opportunity to increase by 1 to 3 pounds, something like that. Some even a half pound. I think I've got quarter-pound plates that I can put on each side, so even a half-pound increase would be acceptable. So I think we went from the bench work to some rack pulls here. It's 5 rep max, and then some walking lunges after this, 400 meters of walking lunge. The rack pulls, for some reason, I was just dead set on doing a double overhand grip here. I really felt like my grip was up to the task, but boy, is my grip pitiful, dude. It is pitiful. So this felt okay. I was not having much difficulty holding on to this, but this isn't much. What is this, 295? Yeah, this is not very much. It didn't feel super heavy. This also did not feel super heavy, but what I'm struggling with is trying to keep my hands closed. I can feel the bar just unrolling my fingers. And so some of these look like a struggle, and it definitely is, but it's mainly a struggle in the hands. And then, so again, after this rep, I try to jump up 50 pounds, which seemed like that would be a pretty reasonable considering how that felt. And I could not pull this off the rack. My hands would not stay closed. Oh gosh, this was depressing. This was very depressing. So, I don't know what was in my head. I didn't want to use a switch grip or an alternating grip or whatever you call it. And I certainly don't want to use straps for this. Good night. I'm trying to avoid using straps at all costs. My deadlift is not nearly impressive enough to justify wearing straps. So we just went to, what is this, 335, which is more than I did last week, so that is an improvement. But this is about the most that I could manage at this point. I have to keep resetting my grip, and the last rep is very challenging. Let's see how I do. Yeah, I can't, I'm trying to retract my my lats, and I just can't hold on to the thing. So anyway, next time out, we'll use the double overhand as the weight increases, and then go to a switch grip so that I can actually get the type of work that I'm looking for, not just a grip exercise. I don't want to be limited by my grip, so I'll just have to not be ridiculous with that. And then we finished off with 400 meters of walking lunges. This is miserable. I hate this. And as I've mentioned a few times, I'm following some programming from Travis Mash in his Squat Every Day book. And the template I'm following prescribes, one day you'll finish with 200 meters walking lunge, and there's another day that finishes with 400 meters. And the rationale is that this is to encourage blood flow and get some nutrients and restorative stuff into the tendons, ligaments, and also just get a little hypertrophy, high rep hypertrophy stuff going on for the quads. That's not something that I would ever have done in my own programming before, but I would be lying if I didn't say my legs feel fantastic, even with all of this other stuff that's going on. So while this is miserable, it feels wonderful once I'm done. And I can't deny that it feels great, that my legs generally feel super great. So this video just keeps looping every time I go, so whatever. Anyway, catch you next time.